What up, everybody? You're now tuned into the true definition of a sports fanatic. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley. Today it's Monday, y'all. Y'all know what Monday is. It's the fan show. Back again in here, man. I got another guest today, man. Come talk some sports with me. Introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yeah. My name is Prolific Theory. Real name is Matthew Wyman. Y'all can check me on the platform of the Theory at the Theory brand on Instagram and at the Prolific Theory Foundation on Instagram and Facebook. And my own personal one is Prolific One Theory. So y'all can check me out. I got a clothing brand which I have on. And it was the brand that I have, which is the Theory brand. So y'all can check me out on all those platforms. So yeah.
Okay, man. Just a couple minutes or so. Talk about your brand, man, and what it's about and what it represents.
Yeah. So the Theory brand basically is a brand that allows people to be themselves. As you see, the shirt I have on, creativity plus ideas. It's basically, what you do every day when you decide to go in your closet and say, okay, I got to figure out what I want to match up. I got to figure out what I want to wear. So basically that's what it is. It's basically you do that every day when you putting on clothes or figuring out what you want to wear. Even before you ask somebody to say, hey, how does this look? You already kind of done created what you was going to put together anyway. So, but that's really what the Theory brand is, man. It allows you to be creative in your own, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what nobody else say. That's the Theory brand. Prolific Theory Foundation is basically a foundation that what we do is we work with kids and older people too, but mostly kids. We help them find their prolific theory. Basically, prolific theory is a fruitful theory. So anything positive in going as towards a goal or what they want to be in life, whatever, that's someone's prolific theory, and that's what we do at the foundation. We help people find their prolific theories in life. So that's what it is.
Man, hey, I'm with it, man. Today, when I told you I did the show about boxing, and one of the things Jose Esvedo brought up, he said promoters, kind of dislike working with boxers who had, whether it's brothers, cousins, or dads or uncles, as trainers or basically in their corner. He said because it will cause a lot of grief, cause a lot of strife, and a lot of infighting and issues from time to time. And I hear that throughout all sports. I mean, anytime an uncle or family member is like the manager of that person, it's kind of sticky, but family is the foundation, say without that, man, it gets very hard for you, and family isn't always, of course, people that you're related to,
right.
But yeah, right. For sure, man.
Yeah. I mean, it go both ways, with the family, because Floyd Mayweather, his dad and his uncle, he was in his corner. And uncle was still in his corner, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, his dad, you know what I'm saying? But it can go both ways, you know what I'm saying? I feel like either or, because Mike Tyson didn't have a family member. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like if it's the family involved, they got to know their role of how to be involved. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably why, in the Floyd situation with his dad, he probably trusted the uncle more than the dad. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and I can see it two ways, man. I can see it how it could be an issue with family for one reason, but another reason too, Jose talked about, is the family member most times are looking out for the best interests of that person, of the player, of the fighter. And if it's not benefiting them, then of course they're not with it. They're going to talk the person, the player out of it, and it's going to be a problem. So when it comes to that right there, I have no issue with that, because somebody has to keep a level head and have your back, even when you yourself are not probably in the best space to make decisions.
Yeah, and that's tough, and that's being tough in the fight too, because especially if you tired and fatigued as a boxer, and you got to listen to somebody and they ain't saying what you need to be hearing or whatever, that's really gonna mess your game up, man.
Yeah, man.
Make it even more difficult what you're doing. So
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's important. That's important, man.
So David said King Henry. All right, David. He's a Titans fan. I'll talk about King Henry. Hey, I always show love for the Yulee kid, man.
Yeah.
Debo. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, hometown
I
kid.
always
Yeah,
got to show love for the
yeah,
Yulee kid, man. I
yeah.
hate that he plays for the Titans, but hey, he
Hey,
played. Hey, he brought my boys a chip and got us a Heisman. So he's got him in here. He's all in here for sure.
yeah.
And
Hey,
today's broadcast is brought to you by the letter A. Just so you guys know, the letter A.
yeah,
Roll
man.
Tide.
Hey, man. Derrick Henry, man. Hey, I actually his high school coach was actually one of my coaches in high school back in the day. So much love to Derrick Henry, man. He had a big game Sunday, man.
Huge game.
That was
Man, but before we get into football, man, we'll give a shout out to the Atlanta Braves. I really don't know if Atlanta period has some type of curse. I don't know if I think the Cubs, they had the old dude with the goat that cursed the Cubs and they couldn't win the chip until a few years back. I don't know what Atlanta did to piss people off, man, but to have blown so many significant leagues across multiple sports. I've never seen anything like it. We've seen where people just a city where every sports team is just bad. I mean, we've seen that. But for you to be competitive, be good, and you get in the biggest moments of your sport, and to have a lead and still lose, I've never seen anything like it, man.
Yeah, man. That was a tough game, man.
It's tough.
When he hit that homer, man, I was like, tough, boy. Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yep.
Wrap.
Yeah, you can't come back in baseball like any other sport.
Nope.
It takes a while. It takes the right time.
Yeah.
It takes a special person to get you back in that game. So yeah,
yes, it does.
Yeah, I seen that. I was, oh man, that homer came at the perfect time.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, man, yesterday, football for me now is just, it's whatever. I mean, I love watching football, period. But when the Jags are not good, and which they haven't been good for a long time, 2017 is like a fond memory now. But Matthew Stafford and the Lions did what I thought they were going to do to us without much resistance. But one of the games I was surprised about Sunday, and I wouldn't say surprised, not too surprised. The Patriots and the Broncos, because I don't think the Broncos is a very good team, but it just showed that, and now people are panicking on Cam because now they're under 500, they're 2-3. He didn't look very good, but remember, Cam's coming off the COVID list. He hadn't practiced that whole week. And so, I mean, Michael Vick, I saw watches Michael Vick talking about it. He said that was a game where Cam probably should have ran a little more, but you could just tell him and the offense, they were out of sync and they didn't have much, had much time to gel and play well. So people now, it's almost about to be a fire sale in New England. If they lose another game, man, there might be people jumping ship in Boston.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. New England is a tough place. Everybody knows that. That's Tom Brady with the legendary era he came from and all that stuff. But Cam is just getting his feet wet. So, and before he took that COVID time off, that was a pivotal time because he was right back out of it. That's a young team, which Patriots got a lot of more experience, especially with the defense they have. That was I can be honest too. That was a shocker too, man. I was looking at that score like, what is going on? Like, what? I mean, and I can understand Boston's understanding because even with him still coming back, the Broncos is a younger team, so it's like y'all can't get it together. Like, what's up? What's going on? Like, this team is not even top notch. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they hung in with the Seahawks.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say, don't if you're a Patriots fan, you're a Cam fan, dude, cut it out, okay? Cut it out. Just cut it out. Take a deep breath, because last time I checked, the Broncos kicked field goals yesterday. They didn't even score a touchdown. So you still have a probably top 5 defense because I think they were number one last year, so they're still a top 5 defense. And as long as you play defense, they're going to be good on special teams, and they'll be able to run the football. They're going to get to 10 wins and make the playoffs off that alone. Especially, and as Cam goes along, the season gets tougher. Cam gets stronger, he gets more comfortable. And dude, they've already showed you just in the small sample size of the few games Cam has played that Josh McDaniels is a wizard with the playbook, man, because he plays to all of Cam's strength. Yeah. So give Cam a little more time, and I think they'll be fine, man.
Oh yeah, I think they'll be much more better off next time around and through the season, because like I say, they have too much experience with Cam, Belichick, McDaniels, the defense. It's too much. A lot of people on that team, they know how to win. So that'd be another shocker if they don't get to 10 wins. But it's hard not seeing them get to 10 wins. So I can really believe that they're gonna snap back easy. And that's just the first game. They probably was like, okay, we're gonna take from that game, and then this ain't happening again. That's the kind of team organization that don't make a lot of mistakes. So yeah, they don't,
man. So they'll be fine, man. But do you think there's cause for concern in Green Bay right now? I don't personally. Yeah, you lost to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's a good team. It was ugly, but I don't see. It's no time to panic in Green Bay, man. Now defensively, they got their issues. They got their issues defensively, but you got Aaron Rodgers, man. You got Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, man, but I mean, the Green Bay always been like that with defense. They always been never great, never the best defense, never the lowest defense, but it's always middle defense. But I mean, they not bad. They had a great season. I think with that game, I think with Tom Brady being on that team, it's just they game plan better. That's what it is. They game plan better for Aaron Rodgers more so. Tom Brady them been around for a while, so he knows what to do. So I mean, I think they game plan better, and it worked, and they executed even on offense when it needed to, because Tom Brady numbers was not even that great. The offense was not great, the yardage. So I mean, but they game planned it. If the plays that they did execute, you could tell the game plan was still working, because they scored at the right time. But the defense very much stepped it up, though. Very much.
Yeah. Man, the defense stepped it up, and Ronald Jones runs like his dreads on fire. I mean, that dude's tough to bring down. Gronkowski sipped the fountain of youth before the game, because the first couple of weeks, even his last 2 years in New England, he wasn't the same Gronk. And then the first couple of weeks looked like he was kind of stuck in mud. But man, he looked spry yesterday, man. He's running away from young defenders. And then with that position at tight end, he can still flourish while not having his old athletic ability, because I mean, one of the GOATs at tight end, greatest tight end probably to ever play, was Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez was out there at almost 40, still getting open.
Catching
touchdowns, man. So it's about now you're at a point where the mental part of the game, you got it down, and you could beat people with your mind, man.
Oh yeah. But to me, I mean, football is a game of chess. So you have to think. It's about you got spacing, you got all kinds of stuff you got to think about. You know what I'm saying? It's very much so a mind game. It's these days. Very much these days, because people are faster, people are bigger, all that. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you could just muscle your way through a lot of stuff, and it wasn't that much strategy going into things. But now it all comes together these days. So
yeah, man. You can't out athlete people now, man. You got to have the mental side of the game, because hey, once you get to a certain level, everybody's talented. So you have to get your technique down. You got to get in your playbook. You got to be able to out scheme. Like, being out coached is a real thing. No matter the level and no matter the talent there is, but you could just clearly see teams being out coached, man. Like, even Jacksonville lost Sunday, and they lost pretty bad to the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions record should be way better than this, because they've blown 3 double-digit leads this year. I mean, they at least have an extra win if DeAndre Swift catches that pass in the end zone that he dropped to win the game. But it's clear that Matt Patricia is not the guy in Detroit. He's not. They have a good team. Watching them Sunday, watching the defense fly around, was hitting everything that moves. Matthew Stafford can still sling it. Adrian Peterson can still run the football. You have decent receivers. They're a pretty good team. They just have awful head coaching.
Yeah, I can say that too. They have their defense has been very underrated past couple of years with that secondary with Darius Slay and them, and then you got a Cuda now. So but offense has been okay too with Galladay and they got three good running backs. They got Swift and it was a guy named Kerryon
Johnson.
Yeah,
and AP.
And Peterson. But I think they're going to be Kerryon Johnson and Swift is going to be a problem in years to come.
And don't forget about Hawkinson.
TJ Hawkinson. Great guy. Great guy.
TJ Hawkinson.
He's a little off, but they try to get him going. You know what I'm saying? They try to get him going, but he made a couple of decent plays and catches and stuff like that. But I mean, I can agree when it comes to coaching, man, because they got a lot of talent and veteranship on that defense and offense has been coming up the past couple of years. So not winning those games that they should have been, I can say that. But they're gonna be in it though, man. I think they played well, great yesterday though.
Yeah, we get it, David. We get it. All right, man. Let's get King Henry out the way, man, for sure. I mean, come on. I mean, what else is there to say, man? It's so funny, man. He's been underrated, and some of it, especially in the lower levels, it's just people doubting him. The talent was there. His first couple of years in the league, he was pretty much an average to below average back, except when he played the Jaguars, of course. I seen the thing where he had played the Jaguars 5 times. He averaged 100 yards for scrimmage and a touchdown. And every other opponent he had faced in those 3 years, he was like at 60 yards per game and less than half a touchdown. And I was like, that sounds very personal because supposedly he wanted to be drafted by Jacksonville and they didn't draft him. But now, man, he was a part-time back too. He was a part-time back because they had DeMarco Murray. And you've had Dion Lewis there who's taking snaps from him. But now that he's hit his stride, man, he didn't start the year well statistically, but his impact on the game was unquestioned because without him, Tannehill in that offense doesn't be able to play the way they play. I mean, the difference between Mariota and Tannehill is that Mariota can't push the ball down the field. Tannehill can. And with Debo in the backfield, play action is crazy. He was averaging under about 3 yards, about 3.5, 3.7 yards a carry or something like that. But you had to account for him every single time he was in the game. Yeah,
the Titans have been a strong team these past 2 years. They've been okay now. So as far as Derrick Henry, I mean, first of all, with the Jaguars, that's just a rivalry at its best. They gonna go ahead. It's gonna be a different game every time. So I mean,
punches in the mouth.
It's who comes to play, man. But they gonna go at it all the time. Just like when they play the Texans and the Texans play the Titans. It's that when those games come about, yeah. But Derrick Henry has stepped it up though when he playing in those rivalry games in the division. So kudos to that, man. But I think Brown, the receiver for Titans, has stepped it up too, man. He's been stepping it up too last season and this season. He became clutch for them. So
I got him in fantasy, and he was hurt for a couple of weeks. But now that he's back, man, he's on the tear. I think he has like 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. And it's funny. Ole Miss had him and DK Metcalf in the secondary. I mean, not in the secondary, but in that wide receiving core. And well, their quarterback, I can't blame. You got to blame the quarterback because with 2 wide receivers like that, I mean, you should be putting up 30 points a game easily at old 30, 40 points a game easily because DK Metcalf is a beast. He has some drop issues in college, but he's an absolute beast. And Brown, he's a beast, man.
Yeah, he's I really think they underrated him too coming out of college, man, because his numbers and highlights was like DK who? Like this other guy over here.
Yeah, I underrated DK too, man. I did, man. When they were talking about drafting him in the first round, I was like, nope, please don't draft him in the first round, Jacksonville. He's got bust written all over him. But he went to the perfect spot in Seattle because as good as DK looks, you can't discount him going to a team with great structure with a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah. You know, because if he comes here and Gardner's playing the way he's playing, DK is probably not DK Metcalf. I mean, it is what it is. Not all wide receivers can function with instability at quarterback like DeAndre Hopkins. You know, DeAndre Hopkins had 100 catches a year for like 5 straight years or something crazy like that. And he had to do from the YMCA at quarterback most times.
Yeah, most definitely. Because for him to still do the same, he's still producing the same with what is this name?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
They play tonight.
Yeah, and I'm excited to try to watch that game. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm ready.
Yeah, and he's been, you know, like you say, as a wide receiver and a quarterback. Yeah, it's much like that. You know, because DK with Russell Wilson been eating a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe DK didn't know that, but Russell Wilson been eating a big, fast receiver to do what they do because he can throw them open and all that stuff like that. So. Yeah, and Brown, he's in a perfect situation with the Titans because it just goes up his alley. He you know, you can a receiver like him, you can pound, and then he's the kind of receiver that you catch a possessions, and then he got the breakaway speed, and he got enough talent to just open the whole game up. So yeah, he definitely landed in the right team in the position in the draft. So yeah, good. Shout out to Brown, man.
Yeah, shout out, man. So we got two games tonight. It's one that starts at 5. They're early tonight. I'm ready to see the Chiefs and the Bills. I know the Chiefs are pissed off, you know, from that L that Raiders put on them. And the Raiders just went in, man, and they played bully. They played bully ball though. They did. The Raiders went in and played bully ball. I was shocked.
Didn't think they was gonna win that game at all.
Man, shocked, man.
But tonight it's going to be very interesting because the Bills are good, playing great, and the addition of Le'Veon Bell. I don't know if he's playing tonight, but oh man, if he plays tonight, which I think he is. I think he's going to play, but it's not going to take the Chiefs much to put him in that playbook. You know what I'm saying? I think now since they got Le'Veon, they're able to pound it with Le'Veon and Hilaire. So that's good. That's great because that's what Le'Veon does anyways, is run through the tackles. But they both can catch too. So that's a problem for other teams and defenses because with them two good backs like that coming out the backfield catching the ball and as already great as the passing game is, that's scary. That's just,
Oh yeah,
that's scary.
Oh yeah. I was shocked about the Browns and the Steelers though. I sipped the Kool-Aid, so not much, but about this much on the Browns. About this much, not much. I was like, they're competitive and they have a chance to make the playoffs, and they still do because they don't have to see that. It's not like they got to play the Steelers every week. I mean, the Steelers put the what's happening on them. It was like 38-7 or something like that. Man, it's crazy. But the Browns they'll be in most games this year. Baker Mayfield I don't know, man.
Mr. Mayfield, oh man.
I don't know.
Where can I go with this? I really think I seen Stephen A said they Odell and Landry should think about moving on from Mayfield. But this is what I'm gonna say. I think I don't think they're gonna move on just yet because he's been having an okay season with their record and everything. I think that's the second game they lost. But I think what he needs to do and needs to do quickly in his career is take more initiative to be the leader, man. You got to come through. You got to come through, man. All these mistakes and stuff you're doing, you got to start making the mistakes, man. You got to start being clutch as a quarterback. You know, you got to start closing out the games, man. You got to do it, man. You got a good enough team. You know, built the team up in the draft. I mean, it's just getting to a point where Mayfield is running out of lives in the video game. So it's like, yo, brother, you gotta get it together. You gotta stop. You know, we don't need another Matt Ryan in our hands. You know what I'm saying? But
oh man, Matt's good, man. Don't give Matt too much.
He's good.
He's good, but you know, he's not. It's funny, man. I remember after Eli, I think he won his first or second Super Bowl. It was like, well, you can't spell elite without Eli, you know, and saying that Eli was an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
Never saw that.
I mean, they got the win, though. They got the win. Falcons got the win yesterday, so, you know, hey.
Yeah.
Job on them, man. Hey.
Yeah. Good on them. Good on them. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is, man.
Because I didn't think they were going to win that game. But, I mean, that was
I thought the Vikings were going to stop them. But
I did too. You know, that was an odd. I was curious to see that though. I'm curious to see what's the problem with the Vikings though. Like, because they've been a great team. So for them,
I mean, it's more than just you losing Diggs. I mean, you lost Diggs, and did Diggs make that huge of an impact on the passing game? One could argue, yeah. Some could argue Kirk Cousins is just not that good. So I leave it. It's somewhere in the middle. Diggs is very, very good.
Diggs was good, but Justin Jefferson has been great.
Has been good.
Has been great.
So I think it's Kirk.
His numbers this season has been unbelievable for a rookie receiver, and they're he's been stepping it up. Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to have numbers like that. So I'm still shocked that he's doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because with the other receivers that was in the draft, no disrespect to him, I just thought that his numbers wouldn't be as great as other people's numbers would have been. You know what I'm saying? But he's been the top one from what I've seen so far as a rookie. You know, he's been a good one.
Every wide receiver that I wanted in the draft has played very well.
Oh yeah, they still
from CeeDee Lamb to Justin Jefferson. To who we did initially take, Laviska Shenault. I think Laviska Shenault is going to be a good player, man.
They're going, man. I'm telling you, they've been using him in the running game a little bit. Last game I seen,
he's the second leading rusher, I think. It's crazy.
Yeah, but when he started catching that ball on that field, boy, that's going to open up a lot of stuff. He started running, getting the ball in those crevices and stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be crazy then. So.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna be crazy, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Well, so let's switch it up. Let's talk a little basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So, question: do you think the Lakers are going to repeat?
I don't think so. Because I just don't think so because I mean in the West, I think the Clippers are gonna be very much ready for them this time. It's going to be. I'm not saying the Clippers are going to make it to the finals, but I mean the Clippers are going to be a way better team next year. They pissed off. So I mean, but they got a good coach. Tyronn Lue's a good coach. Very up front.
Ty Lue is my guy.
The Warriors are going to be okay. I don't think the Warriors are going to go that far because they don't have a complete team as they used to have. They got some holes to fill in, but so does the Rockets. They lost the coach too. So I mean, right now it can probably seem that they can run the table because all these head coaches and stuff like that. But I really believe some of these younger teams are going to be some problems too in the West too. So in the West Conference. So
and I was going to get to that. The Clippers. The Clippers. I don't know the Warriors. If they can stay healthy, and if they draft Wiseman, the kid from Memphis who only played 12 games and decided, even when they let him back, in and the NCAA took the suspension off of him. He was like, "Nah, I'm just going to the NBA. I ain't got to play no more." But I don't think the Clippers have what it takes, and I would say that mostly because Ty Lue is a good coach, for sure. Kawhi Leonard is, he is who we thought he was. The Montrezl Harrell is who we thought he was. Lemon Pepper Lou, even though he was inconsistent a little bit, Lou Williams, he's that guy. Patrick Beverly, Junkyard Dog, trash talker, great defense, can hit an open three.
Yeah.
The question mark on that team is who.
Yeah,
it's Paul George.
My guy.
No, come on, man. You know who the question mark is. The question mark is
PG8. But I mean, and that's what the thing is. I think that's what Tyronn Lue is gonna step in and rectify that. I think as a team right now, they're not on the same level as what the hype was no more right now because of what happened, how it all played out. But I think Tyronn Lue is the best coach for that decision to glue it back together. But even then, at the end of the day, PG knows it. Everybody else knows it. He got to step up. He got to do it. He got to crank in because Kawhi is doing his thing. He's doing the best that he can, and Tyronn Lue is going to push them to the max. He ain't gonna have time for that rest off game stuff. No, it ain't happening. So you playing. I ain't finna stay until it's really time to do that. But yeah, that's dead. Tyronn Lue's not gonna have that. So and Tyronn Lue's gonna tell PG. I think he'll tell PG more than Doc would tell him. Say, hey man, you need to get your stuff together, brother. Like you need to get it right. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's gonna be interesting too, though. I think some other teams gonna be a surprise too, just like how the East was. It's gonna be a lot of younger teams being more competitive next season because Dallas looked, man, unbelievable in the playoffs, man.
Dallas, Denver, and Utah aren't going anywhere. Yeah. They're playoff teams next year.
And Utah was that was like their first time meshing with Conley and all of that. So that was very interesting. And I think they pissed off too. So I think they're gonna come hard too, man. They're gonna come hard too all season, man. They played great though. They was Conley with that addition of Conley, man, that just changed a lot of stuff, man. But they're gonna be a problem too. And back in the East, switch to the East Coast, man, where everybody know, man, what I know, this Durant and Kyrie thing, oh man, this is gonna be unbelievable. So
yes,
yeah.
So now I told you when you talked last week, and the biggest domino, where is he gonna go? Is Giannis.
Yeah.
Is he gonna switch? Is he gonna go somewhere else? Yeah. And I told you if I'm him, on my list of the three teams at the top, the three teams I'm going to have a steak dinner with at the most expensive restaurant in their city. Number one is the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Number two is the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
And number three is the Boston Celtics. Just like that, in that order. That's how I would do it, man. So, man, but if he goes to Miami, man, I would say Miami. It's going to be a Miami-LA finals again. Because I don't see even KD and Kyrie with Karis LeVert and some really good role players with a first-time head coach of Steve Nash, which I don't think that'd be a big deal. So let's see, what's that? Oh, Kobe, what's up, Kobe?
What's up, Kobe?
Appreciate you tuning in. So, but yeah, it depends on Giannis. The East, wherever the power shift goes, is going to depend on Giannis. Now, let's say Giannis leaves the East. Let's say he goes out west and he goes to, say, a Dallas.
Gary.
Yeah, it comes down to Boston, Brooklyn, and once again Miami. Because I'm pretty sure Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra aren't resting on their laurels. That's not how they're built. So they're looking to improve the Heat in whatever way they can. And there's going to be some players out there. Word on the street is Chris Paul is looking to move Chris Paul. The Lakers have interest. Yeah, you hear about that? Yeah, they say the Lakers have interest. If I'm Miami, I would have interest.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
It's hard though because he get paid 85 over the next 2 years, so it's very hard, but it can be done.
yeah. With Chris Paul though, he got a price tag. He got a price tag on his back with the money. You know what I'm saying? But I think for him, he gonna have to look. He gonna look. I mean, he seen something. Well, he didn't. OKC wasn't his choice, but he made a great opportunity out of it. But if he gets moved around, he's gonna have more of a say so now where he's gonna go. And I think where he goes, he's gonna want to go to somewhere that can be a contender, and that's gonna be tough with that. With that,
What's up, Ness?
what's up,
Yeah.
man? What's up? With that whole price tag of his, you know, for Giannis, I think it's tough, man. I think it's not gonna be like I think on Giannis, it's gonna be the decision. If he has a decision to go where he wants to go, it's tough because, like you say, Boston, Heat, Dallas. If he go to any three of those teams, all of them gonna be scary because Boston is a good defensive team. Miami is a great defensive team. Dallas, maybe not a great defensive team,
but they can score with anybody right now.
And having Giannis would up their defense a lot more than what it was, and could be scary trying to guard all three of those guys with Hardaway running around shooting three balls all over the place. But I think I didn't think too much about that. But Celtics, if he went to the Celtics, that would be enormous because
yes,
with Tatum and Brown, Jaylen Brown, man, oh my goodness, they've been the tandem for real. And Kemba being 100% Kemba, which he wasn't, he still was playing okay. He started playing great in the playoffs. Man, that would be that'll be tough. And everybody knows that if you go to the Heat, that's tough because the Heat is just a team that has a certain mentality that a lot of people don't have for a young.
Nothing but three shooters, man. So the lanes will be open.
And they have a lot of grit too, though. So
yeah. So Giannis doesn't. When the good thing about Giannis and how, let's say, how he fits with Miami versus like how we would fit with the Dallas. With the Dallas and Miami, I think it's pretty much the same. You won't be able to build a wall like teams do to him while he's in Milwaukee. Because like Miami, the way Miami beat Milwaukee, you build a wall. You build a wall and you do not allow him to cause havoc in the paint. And you make him a jump shooter. That's the way to beat him.
They strategized real good too against him too, but they made they shot the ball very well. They were
shot it well.
Ooh, man, they
shot it well.
Consistent in
so
that series. Yeah.
You take Giannis and you put Giannis with Miami. Now you can't pack the paint. You can't, because there are too many three shooters out on the wings. You can't pack the paint. You have to defend the three ball. And now Giannis can wreak havoc. Same with Dallas, man. Dallas was top 3 in points per game and offensive efficiency.
Yeah.
So you can't pack the paint with either one. He has an open lane to the basket every single night with those two teams for sure.
I think it's more, but I think it's more. I mean, in the long run, like going in the playoffs and stuff, I think it's more beneficial to Miami because then I give them the exclamation point what they couldn't do all the way strong with Giannis on the offensive level. See, his defense is great, and the defense of the Miami is good too. But with him on offense, that creates a problem for another team because he can get to that basket at will if he really gets too close to that basket. So for Miami, with Jimmy Butler dropping the ball and all that, and him and Giannis controlling that inside court, that's a problem. You got those outside shooters. You know what I'm saying? That's what basketball is all about right there. So that can be unstoppable because you see Jimmy tapped into the side of his stuff that everybody didn't see. So for Giannis to be there and control that paint with Adebayo, man, and they can afford him. So
they can't afford him. Yeah, hey Ness, you're right, man. He said Giannis to the Heat is a chip on deck. Yeah, they become, I would say, they become cold favorites. I mean, they might bump LA out of that top spot because adding him with Jimmy Butler, man. I mean, dude, that'd be a ridiculous 1-2 punch for
Good,
sure.
because they had no. If they had Giannis, put it in perspective, if they had Giannis, LeBron would have had to be on Giannis or AD. But technically, Jimmy Butler was a problem for both of them. So if you got Giannis, you're gonna have to help with Giannis, even though he's not a shooter. You know what I'm saying? But he has other things he can do other than shooting. You know what I'm saying? Which I think they still make him a better shooter if he goes to that team too. But Jimmy Butler will really be tough to stop if he went
Yeah,
there. So
and I don't mean to cut you off, but think about it like this too. With Giannis, Giannis can guard the top wing defender, the top wing offensive player. So whether that's LeBron, even if it's AD, take that assignment away from Jimmy Butler for majority of the game. Give it to him in key moments,
yeah,
but save those legs of Jimmy for the offensive side of the ball. So with he doesn't be because like what it was game 5 when he was leaned over and everybody was memeing him up talking about he looked like a mechanic talking about yeah start it up right now, it was your alternator, should work now. He was all bent over like this and stuff.
yeah,
He was spent. He had nothing left in game 6.
yeah,
But with Giannis, that takes the offensive load off of him.
yeah.
Can Giannis stay healthy the whole season?
If
That's a question.
I think if he goes with the Heat, he can because the Heat they still have a good bench. They have a complete team. So it's if you think about it too, on the Heat's team, not to be so far on the Heat, they whole team's healthy the whole season. So I mean, they didn't have a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of different people they can play in different spots. So Giannis can get all the rest he wants because they have numerous of people that can be a help to scoring and defense on that bench and on the starting lineup. So I think they would control that very well. That would be great for him. You know what I'm saying? And even Celtics kind of too, but I mean, I don't know. So Dallas, I think he would probably be having a problem with staying healthy. So
Yeah.
because he'd be doing.
But all of this might be a moot point because King James and them, they might make another move or something. They make another. If Chris Paul goes to LA, man,
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But see, if Chris Paul went to LA and Giannis, he's still in the contract or whatever. So, but he get out of that contract, which I believe he's going to get traded to a team that he wants to go to.
Yes, I see. I think that's happening.
I see that happening. But even if you had the same matchup, because if Chris Paul, which I really feel that the Lakers are going to try to get another star of their caliber, he would have to take a cut. But I still think that he will give him a problem because
it'll give him a problem.
You know what I'm saying? And the way Jimmy played and the way a lot of them played in certain stances, that makes a lot of free agents or whoever's done with their contracts or whatever, good players, make them want to go play for a team like that because for them or him to be a leader, gassing himself out like that, a lot of guys don't see that. A lot of guys from certain stars and certain levels with certain contracts of his kind. So that will actually make somebody want to go play for them. So,
yeah, the opposite of Paul George.
Oh yeah, he gonna have a lot of people knocking at their door. So
yeah. So do you guys think ID left New Orleans too soon, and what kind of tandem could AD and the Young Thunder could have been? Left New Orleans too soon? No, I don't think so. I think his time in New Orleans was up. I mean, he wanted to go. That's the main factor in all of it is that he was ready to go, and because he was ready to go, it was time to go.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think he was ready to go, man. It was too many changes that was not significant for him when they were bringing certain guys in. Was not a good caliber of bringing in the Ingrams and the other guys. He ain't like that. You can tell he didn't like that. Cousins was okay, but when they brought in Cousins, they should have did the rest. They should have finished it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he I guess he's seen that I'm doing too much. I've gave too much. I think it's time for me to go. He didn't have to say it. It was more noticeable. You know what I'm saying? I think he did the right thing. So
Right. It's the same with most superstars, man. If you really think about it, the ones who have switched teams, at some point they lose trust with the organization. Your organization has sold them a dream, and the player looks up 5, 6, 7 years have passed and say, "Hey, I'm exactly where I started with you guys. We haven't progressed. We're no better than we are the day before, and I don't really see a bright future here. It's time to go." I mean, a lot of people talk about Jordan and how old George ago he didn't have to go anywhere. He even said it himself after his second season. His faith in the front office was gone
Yeah.
because they want to tank for a better draft pick instead of going for a playoff spot. So right then and there, he had issues with him. Now, of course, they got together, won 6 championships, while being incredibly dramatic from all sides.
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't happen. Like, there's no way the Cleveland LeBron wins championships in Cleveland the way he's won so far. I mean, him going back and him going back and winning. The one he did win was the fact, hey, Kyrie was there. He had more control. They were more willing to listen, and they made moves that they did not make in his first go round.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the Lakers was easy because they're a franchise that they have 17 championships. They want to win a title. So they're going to do whatever they can to win a title. There's a lot of teams that their focus is not winning a title year in and year out. Their focus is putting butts in the seats and getting revenue.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. AD made the right decision, man. He really did.
He did.
He made the right decision. So,
He did.
Yeah.
See, A-Dot with Zion is Twin Towers 2.0. I would have liked to see that. I would like to see that, Zion and AD. But if you build your franchise on the backs of Zion and Anthony Davis in New Orleans, you might be on shaky ground, because even though AD was incredibly healthy this year, he didn't miss significant time. And it is reports that when he missed time in New Orleans, some of those times he could have played. He was like, "We suck, so I'm not playing." So that's the rumor. I don't know, but that's the rumor.
I mean,
So,
but, another thing would have been a problem too is that Zion's not healthy though. Can't stay healthy for it.
Zion got to lose weight, man. Yeah, Zion got to lose weight. I didn't know how much of a hater Kyrie is. I wouldn't say Kyrie's a hater.
Hater, man.
I wouldn't say Uncle Drew is a hater, man, because I love Uncle Drew, man. I love Kyrie. Kyrie's one of my favorite players, man. But he says things from time to time. It does make you question his sanity, whether it's the Earth being flat or certain theories that he have. But even what he said about him having a shooter like KD, he said he finally has a guy that can do, I guess, what he can do, take those last shots. People said, "Oh, that was a shot at LeBron," and he was saying that it wasn't. I can see it both ways, but everybody's going to perceive that he's taking a shot at LeBron.
Yeah, but I think Kyrie. I think a lot of people don't really see what Kyrie's building up here. Kyrie's going to be on a mission. I think he's on a mission to kill. He's going to be a killer, and Durant definitely going to be a killer. And a lot of people got to realize that team without both of those guys, still made it to the playoffs without them two. So imagine the impact that they're going to have with them two. So It's going to be scary. So, yeah.
They say AD went for legacy. All great players who were Lakers were supported in their quest of greatness by a great organization. True. It's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. I have no issue with a guy choosing when LeBron chose the Lakers. It would have been the same if he had chose the Boston Celtics, because those are flagship franchises that want to win, and they're going to do everything they can to win. Like, you go get your early on. They always say you chase the money in your youth. Chase the money. Go get the money. And then as you get older, you done got your money, you're set, your family's set. You can retire 10 times over. Then you go chase the rings. That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, I think that's just what it was, man. He wanted to be a part of greatness, and he's great. So, like I said, we made the right decision. It worked out well.
Well, Kyrie opted out the bubble, but he wasn't healthy enough to play. So it's not like he was going. Even if he opted in the bubble, he wasn't healthy and he wasn't going to play.
I think Kyrie didn't play in a bubble for the purposes of he knew he wasn't that healthy. He knew they could still have a chance, honestly, but at the same time, they he as you see off the court, man, he took it seriously with what was going on too. So
he did. And two, why waste? Why I was, and it's not a waste, of course, but if there's a chance you could injure yourself further, why even get on the court?
Right, and I don't think he wanted to mess that up and prolong that with Kevin Durant. So I don't think he wanted to be fresh and 100%. So he focused his attention on the community and everything else. So shout out to Kyrie for that.
Yeah, and Kevin Durant has a hill to climb, man. Let's remember, man, this isn't a torn ACL. It isn't a torn meniscus. It's not a torn patella tendon. It's not any of those things, man. It's a torn Achilles, and Achilles has changed the direction of basketball players' careers by and large. Only one player in NBA history has became an all-star after an Achilles tear, and that's I just had his name on my head. It's Dominique. Yeah. Is it Dominique Wilkins? Yeah. The Hawks player. He's the only one. He's the only one. After that, it's been nobody. Now, KD might be the second, of course, because he's Kevin Durant. But I got to see it because the Achilles that's a bad injury for a basketball player.
I think he'll be okay. I think he'll very much so have a lot of time. He had a lot of time to heal. He's much younger than Kobe when he got an Achilles injury. So his healing is a little bit better and stronger. But I think he'll be fine. He was in the gym shooting around and all that. So you've seen that lately in a couple of videos. So he got a lot of more time too. So before the season starts. Yeah. So he's good, man. He's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Say to me, LeBron's legacy would be much greater if he had stayed and won more chips in Cleveland. But how can you win chips in Cleveland when you have a organization that you can't trust? Dude, Dan Gilbert, that first go around, you can't trust that. You can't trust that at all, man. So I have no problem with him leaving. Hey, going to Miami, learning how to win under one of the greatest basketball contributors, coaches of all time, and Pat Riley. And then leaving there, coming back, bringing a championship back to Cleveland, and then you go to the Lakers and give them a championship. Yeah, no. I don't think it's diminishes the greatness at all.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been that great.
Yeah, that is a devastating injury in basketball for sure, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
But man, dude, this has been, man, we about an hour in. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
for sure, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. Hey, anytime you want to come back, man, just let me know, man. You come on anytime, man. We talk some sports for sure. This was fun. Had a good time, man. For sure. See what Nesco say. And he trusts the Lakers. Magic don't trust the Lakers. I would say Magic didn't trust the Lakers. Magic didn't trust. He did not necessarily the process of putting players on the court, and I guess maybe who they put in as far as coach or whatever. But there was some infighting and some pettiness in the front office, to say the least. They say him and Rob Pelinka butted heads. So that's, if Rob Pelinka is not a Laker right now, Magic is still part of the Lakers organization.
Yeah. It's hard not to see that it was going to do what they did this season. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you got Magic. I'm not going to be here. Yeah, he was right. He was not going to be there for sure. Yeah, man. But hey, man, let people know where they can follow you on social medias, any calls to actions that you have, anything you want to say.
Yeah, man. Once again, Prolific One Theory on Facebook and Instagram. The Theory brand, which is what I'm wearing again. The Theory brand at the Theory brand on Instagram, and the Prolific Theory Foundation on Instagram and Facebook. And also, you can catch me with the 21st Men at the 21st Men, which I have a show that I'm on with Jay Michael, and it's called Man Theory. So y'all can tap into that at 21st Men on Instagram. So y'all can tap into that too. So
for sure, man, for sure. Yeah. Hey, same with me, man. Hey, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. And I got a matter of fact, I got an interview that I did last week that I'm getting ready to drop. Another episode of Brandon's Debatable Sports Take, curated by the 21st Men as well. That's coming up, part 2 of my interview with Mr. James Coleman. Man, we got and let's see what else I got going. Oh, more episodes of the podcast are coming. So man, I'm just trying to crank this out, man. Hopefully soon I get me my Prolific Theory hat and shirt one of these days.
Almost
No rush, but one of these days so I can rock it, I'll replace greatness with upcoming greatness. That's for sure,
man.
Bro.
Hey man, hey, don't sleep too long. My Gators are coming back, so you know.
Oh, come on, man. Hey, if y'all had a defense, man, I would be very scared.
They're gonna get it together.
If y'all had a defense, I'll be very scared of that, man. Let's see. He said, Nesco say, big ups, Prolific. I see you love to see young brothers chasing their dreams. Hey, man, that's what it's all about, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, man. But hey, guys, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, May, if you don't want to miss any of the lives that I do, man, I think you can turn on the post notifications. I thought about making a Facebook just for the true definition of a sports fanatic, but the other pages I make specifically for this, I have to manage more pages. And man, I'll tell you, I am buried in managing pages already. So it may come one day if I can afford an assistant or something like that. But hey, man, until then, man, I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to y'all later, man. Hey, peace out.